Good afternoon. This is Gail. Today we're doing gentle yoga for low back care. It's a 60-minute class. You'll need a yoga block, a strap. I also like to have a blanket, and I use a chair to help myself to get up and off the floor. All good stuff. You don't have to use the gear to do the class, but it's going to give you more benefits if you're able to find something around the house that you can use, or acquire a block and a strap. So I'm going to stand up, go over to the chair. At the end of the class, I'll come back up here and we'll do the guided rest and relaxation and the gratitude practice. So let's get started. Again, my name is Gail. This is our gentle yoga for low back care class today. We're going to start off in constructive rest pose, which is lying on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. Alternatively, you can sit in the chair and do the class. Not all things translate well, but we do the best we can. So for me, I squeeze that belly button and stick one leg way back and come down to that knee, and I just kind of tip over to be on my back. If you're already there in constructive rest pose, yay, you get a little extra benefit of being in the posture a little bit longer. Very beneficial. Again, make sure you have a block and a strap handy for this class. So when I put myself down onto the floor, I'm always noticing, okay, that right hip is more connected than the left. Feel some kind of squirrely things going on with my back. So for me, I have to modify to make it feel okay in my body. I just grab my wrist and pull that shoulder up and away and reposition that side of the body back on down. It feels better already. Do the same with the other side. Okay. Whew. You know what? We're going to start out with notice pose. So I invite you to extend your legs all the way down towards the edge of the yoga mat. I'm feeling really tight in that hip flexor today. Do the same with the other one. I always squeeze my belly button, engage my core when I extend the leg out. You're sitting there on the chair, legs extended, and you're just noticing areas of tightness or not. And again, notice what places of your body are connected to the surface that's supporting you today. One side feels more heavy than the other. If there's some some kind of spicy spots, and you may start out with some spicy stuff. Hopefully it'll get worked out. And then contract the belly button towards the spine, slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, and then the other. If you need to modify a little bit, always kind of lift my behind and then just kind of lay my low spine back on down just to make it feel a little bit better today. To start out with, let's do windshield wipers after we do the breath, okay? So hands on your torso, and let's breathe in, let the belly expand and the upper chest also. You can hear my sinuses. And then exhale, contract the belly button towards the spine. I can hear my sinuses. I don't know if you all can hear my sinuses. And again, breathe in, belly big. And then exhaling. Listen to the breath as it goes in through the nose, down the windpipe. I'm going a little bit slower today so it doesn't feel so clogged up in my sinuses. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful. As I mentioned, we're going to do windshield wipers. If you're seated on the chair, you're going to come up on the balls of the feet, maybe the feet on the block. Lying here on the back, keep your feet flat and just drop a knee out to the side. So if this feels kind of squirrely, sketchy for your hip, you may want to take that block underneath to support the weight of the leg and be on the side of the foot. Now take the other leg and drop it towards the leg that just dropped. Now it's not about bringing the knees together and really, twisting that low back. It's kind of feeling the stuff that's going on in the posture. So there is a separation of the knees when you're lying on your back doing windshield wipers. Contract the belly button towards your spine. Bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Use your hand if you need to guide things, okay? That's okay too. Let's do the second side. Drop the leg out to the side, so I don't need the block on this side. And then take the other leg and then drop it towards the bottom leg. And just kind of notice stuff going on in that hip musculature maybe. maybe up the side body. Again, just kind of depends, you know, what's going on with you today. And then contract the belly button, bring the top leg back to the center, the bottom leg back to the center, and let's do the second side, the first side again. So drop the knee out to the side. Feels better in my body already. And again, we're on the side of the foot to stimulate, you know, the muscles on the side of the foot. Take the other leg, drop it towards the bottom leg, and then you're on the instep a little bit. And you may be feeling this generous pulling sensation in the quadricep, top of the leg, inserting into the hip complex, I guess you'd call it. And you got a little low lumbar twist going on here too. And then contract the belly button, bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center, and let's do the second side last time. Open it up, and then take that top leg, drop it towards that bottom leg. And again, just kind of enjoy, is that the word? Endure maybe, this windshield wiper pose. If it's spicy, remember, listen to the breath going in through the nose. And the belly expands when you do that. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Squeeze the belly button, bring that top leg back to the center, then the bottom, other leg. All right, from here, you know what? Let's just do block bridge to start out with, shall we? So grab your yoga block. You don't have one, you do this posture without the block. You're going to walk your feet towards your behind. I got some spice going on in that left hip today, so I'm kind of like, ooh, some spicy stuff. And then you can either use your hands to lift your bottom up or use your own muscular strength and slide that block underneath. Now, when I do that, I always feel like crunchy here with my shoulders. So I kind of lift my shoulders, walk my shoulders, the back of my head away from where that block bridge is. I call this block bridge pose. So we're kind of in a bridge pose with the block underneath. Now, let's raise one leg up into the air and let's just go ahead and shake that leg. And then wiggle it side to side. So this is lymphatic drainage, working in an inversion and upside down pose. This is also good for prolapse because you're working gravity in a different direction, but you just let everything relax when you are here. Shake, shake, shake. And then let's bring that foot down. Let's do the other side. So bring the other leg up and shake, shake, shake. And then side to side. You can do this with a foam roller also if you had one of those, or a huge book. Shake, shake, shake. Or a bunched up tight pillow. It's going to give some give, but you know, the harder the surface, the more of kind of a back release that you might encounter. Shake, shake, shake. All right, now we're going to do both legs. So grab the block, grab the floor, and then lift the leg and shake those legs. If you're doing this seated, you're placing that block in the back of the chair, pressing your low back into the block, and shaking one leg at a time. It's going to be hard to shake both legs in the air at a time. So just shake and wiggle. You can use your hands to help make this happen too. All right, make everything nice and still, and maybe feeling some little vibrational energy in the bottoms of the feet, and then lay one foot back on down, then the other. Woo. I'm going to walk my shoulders in, squeeze my shoulders as I push into the floor, lift up, and roll my spine down. So just notice what you notice here right off the bat, using this at the beginning of class. All right, let's do the nose pose. So extend one leg. Wow. Okay. And then the other. And from here, our legs are kind of at a nice little kind of letter V. If they're not, you know, you can kind of scooch them out a little bit to where they're kind of in a V shape. And I encourage you from here, just kind of do feet wipers. So basically make the feet kind of go like windshield wipers. Your hips are getting a little involved in this too. And I'm making my yoga mat bunch up when I do this too. Oh well. Again, keep it between the easy and out. If it feels weird, strange, don't do it unless you want to. And always listen to your body. All right, squeeze the belly button, slide a foot onto the yoga mat, then the other. And just notice how your body feels after the block bridge pose here. Okay? Next one we'll be doing, we're kind of doing things in reverse order. That's okay. We're going to do a yoga band-aids. We haven't done that one in a while. So You may not remember it, but you will once we get into it. We're going to take the feet and do feet sandwich. So that means walk those feet in and do the soles of the feet together and drop the knees out to the side. So this is a configuration of cobbler's pose and opening up those hip flexors. Excuse me. We're going to take the hip bones and then kind of shift them towards your chest. So you're pushing the low back into the floor when you do that. From here, let's inhale, raise the legs up halfway, but keep the bottoms of the feet together. And then exhaling. On the next inhale, bring the knees together, feet back onto the yoga mat. Then on the next inhale breath, soles of the feet together, open up the knees again. And on that next exhale breath, raise them up about a third of the way up. Feet, soles of the feet are together. Breathe in, stay here. Belly big. Exhale, come up to about 2/3 of the way up. Breathe in, stay here. And then bring them together as you exhale. Bottoms of the feet on the floor. Same kind of things that we're doing seated on the chair. And then on your next inhale breath, again, soles of the feet together, knees open up. You may be noticing your knees opening up a little bit more, maybe. On your exhale breath, just barely raise them up off the ground. So I'm kind of shaking here on this, barely raising up off the ground. Breathe in. On your exhale breath, bring them about to the halfway point. Very good. Breathe here. Exhale to about 3/4. My feet are kind of bunched up on the 3/4 part. Breathe in, stay here. And then back to feet on the yoga mat. Very good. Let's do the notice pose. Contract your belly button, extend one leg, then the other. What you're trying to notice here is, does it feel different from maybe the beginning one or the one we did just before? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah? Okay, just notice what you notice or don't notice. Hopefully it's a little bit easing of stuff going on in the body. Squeeze the belly button, slide the foot back onto the yoga mat, and then the other. I'm trying to think what else we're going to do here lying on our back. You know what? We haven't done bridge pose lately, so we're going to try that, shall we? So we're going to walk the feet towards the behind and place those heels down. And then what I like to do for bridge pose is I roll a shoulder blade, so I squish the shoulder blade underneath, if that makes any sense, or the tops of the upper arms. So I'm really like squished here in the upper chest into the floor. And then from here, what we do is breathe in, belly big. And as we exhale, contract that belly button and lift your behind off the ground. Now I've got a little bit of clearance going on here, not much. Breathe in, belly big. And then exhale, roll your spine back on down. Now, if you didn't get it off the yoga mat, that's okay. It's like the effort, the thought, right? So again, breathe in, belly big. Let's try it again. Push the shoulders, upper arms, push into the feet, and kind of lift the lower part of our body up off the ground. Very good. Try not to have the legs fall out to the side. Try to be aligned with the hips as best you can. Ooh, we're staying here a little bit. Breathe in, belly big, strengthening the back musculature. And then we're going to lower that behind back onto the ground. So roll it down. Do what you can. Very good. And kind of relax those buttocks as you rest here in a bridge pose. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. And again, contract the belly button. Push the feet, push the upper body into the yoga mat. Raise up, raise up, raise up. Maybe your hips are more off the ground. Maybe your legs are more in towards one another than out. Maybe not. That's okay too. Breathe in, belly big. And then roll the spine down. We need to do a counter pose for bridge. So bring one knee into the chest. And if you're seated, one leg at a time, please. If you can, lying on your back, bring the other one. I'm going to grab my yoga pant And then my hands back behind the knee pits. And then from here, let's just kind of point and flex the feet. You're doing one at a time because you're seated in the chair, you know, do point and flex of one foot, then lift the other one, do point and flex. Lying on the back, you can alternate your point and flex, kind of like that. And again, ankle circles, maybe they're opposite ankle circles. That's what mine are. And then reverse. When you're doing both at the same time, it's hard to do both in the same direction. This is what I have found. It's strange, right? And you definitely can notice one side versus the other when you do them at the same time. And then relax those toes, wiggle those toes. Now invite the knees a little bit more in towards your chest, or if you need to, more away. That's okay, either way. And if you can, let's take the hands on the knees and bring the inner thighs next to each other. Hands on the kneecaps. What we're going to try to do is have really straight elbows and push the knees away with straight elbows. So you're going to feel that low back firm into the floor, contraction of the lower abdominals. Now, bend the elbows, invite the knees in towards your chest. Again, my knees are a little bit apart when I do that. I can't keep them together when I bring knees into the chest. Just things get in the way. And then extend those arms super straight. Feel a little lower abdominal contraction activation here. Let the belly be soft. Invite the knees in towards the chest. Bend those elbows. And then just kind of go to a halfway place there, okay? And then knees apart. We're going to draw opposite knee circles. Very slow. So we're kind of getting into the hips when we do this. And there's a sneaky pelvic tilt happening here when you have the knees away and knees in towards your chest. Now we're going to pause and go the other direction. Go the other opposite knee circles, okay? So this is what happens when you come on early and I ask for requests, and so we kind of get the what we do changed up a little bit. And that's okay. And reverse one more time. Very good. Now we're going to place one foot back down onto the yoga mat, then the other. Next is permission to cross the legs twist. Be kind, be cautious. I'm going to make sure my block's close by. You're going, okay, this is strange, right? We're going to take one leg up into the air and cross it on top of the other leg. So permission to cross the legs. And let's think about this. So the bottom foot, the bottom leg, that's the side we're going to twist towards. So I'm looking here. I'm pretty close to the wall. I'm going to move away from the wall a little bit to make that happen. So my bottom foot, what I'm going to do very cautiously, I'm going to take my hand on the top leg and guide it. I might need that yoga block underneath if it's too much weight to go into the twist. So again, you're kind of going into that low lumbar twist. And I'm going to use that block to stop me from going too far. This is my spicy side. But it feels good to get that nice, elongated, kind of stretchy, lengthening sensation going on here. Now, what I can do to counteract anything that's going on with my hip musculature on the top side is take the heel of my hand, press into that hip bone to give it a counter weight, counter pressure sensation. And that often helps me with my spiciness and what I encounter in my yoga postures sometimes. Now I'm going to squeeze my belly button towards my spine. I'm going to use my hand to guide my legs back to the center. Woo! All right, permission to uncross. So take that leg up and off. And let's do the other side. So leg up into the air, cross that leg. Now think about the leg that's on the bottom. So I'm going to tap the bottom foot, and that's the direction I'm going to twist next. So the other side. So here we go. So again, I'm getting that block close. And I'm thinking, okay, that's probably where I need to stop. But this one I'm able to go a little bit deeper into that low lumbar twist with the lever of the cross leg weight. And again, you probably, the back side of your ribs, top ribs are off the ground. This doesn't translate as well seated on the chair, but you can kind of get into the side body musculature here. My advice to you is to take this recording and do this on the couch or the bed if you don't like to get down to the floor, so you can kind of feel what's going on without having to get down to the ground. If you're one of those that don't like to get down to the ground, and that's okay. Yeah. Squeeze the belly button. We're going to take everything back to the center. Woo. Take that top leg up and off. And you know what? Let's do windshield wipers to kind of do the counter effect of what we just did. So we're going to drop one knee out to the side and then drop the top leg towards the bottom leg. Notice that there's less sensation, more twisting going on. And then squeeze the belly button, top leg to the center, bottom leg to the center, and drop over to the other side. So here we go. And again, you're noticing what you notice. Excellent. Squeeze the belly button, bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. And let's roll over onto our side and come up to a seated place, whether that's seated on the floor or seated on the couch or the chair. All right, so I'm looking to see where my yoga blanket, there it is, over there on the chair. So as you know, I like to sit on the edge of a yoga blanket to allow my low back to kind of straighten up more and feel a little bit more in ease with the stuff that's going on with my body. So I'm going to come up on the edge of the blanket. Whew, much better. And I'm making sure my block's close by because you never know. Maybe you can sit here crisscross yoga sauce. That's what we call it when we do kids yoga, crisscross yoga sauce. And I don't know, today I'm feeling, like I said, pretty spicy in that hip. So I'm going to use that block just to rest my leg on top of that. Maybe your leg is out to the side. Maybe it's better for you to be in the chair. It's okay. Make it your own, right? So from here, let's do unsupported twist. So we're going to do those little jazz hands, elbows more towards your ribs. So squeeze those shoulders, yeah? Maybe you can bring the arms out a little bit. And let's breathe in. Force the belly to be soft. Very good. Now contract the belly button towards the spine and twist towards one direction. Try to keep both shoulders equally squeezed. I always lose one though a little bit. Breathe in, belly big. And then back to the center. And relax and release. Whew. Now, we're going to do the other side. So go back, activate those upper body muscles. Very good. Breathe in, belly soft. Now exhale, twist towards the other side. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Beautiful. All right, little shoulder roll here, okay? Notice if you can feel any crunchiness, little noise going on, and reverse. And in fact, since we're here, let's just get into these ribs a little bit because it's cold and flu season. I'm going to move my block to do this one. So it's called Perry. So you're basically drawing a circle and drawing another circle. So I'm shifting from side to side. So I'm getting into the side body, the intercostal muscles in my ribs. Y'all probably know it as wax on, wax off, right? And then I'm going to pause and make those circles go outwards. And I bring them back to the center. This also helps to get into all those little things in our lungs, the villi. So that's important during this cold and flu season. Yes, I used my Neti Pot a lot last week. I used a saline solution in through the nose and out through the other nostril. Sometimes it's so stuffed up, though, it comes out the mouth. That didn't happen this last time. Now, make this be outward as if you're washing the windows, right? Again, making the circles a little bit smaller if you have some shoulder challenges today. But again, this is to encourage you to breathe a little deeper mechanically. Now, bring the hands in, or the circles in. And if you want to get a little bit more into the lungs, this also helps with back challenge. You can do elbow digs instead. Keep breathing, keep moving. You can also do just the circles where you wax on, wax off, yeah? And then let's bring it back to over our legs, over our front of our torso. And then make the shapes a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Excellent. So next we'll do side lateral flexion. We'll do the two variations that I like to teach. If you need to switch the feet, this is the time to do that. If you're seated on a chair, well, we're not switching the feet. So let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And this time, hand away. Now, if you're in the chair, hand on the chair or back behind you. And then I'm going to inchworm out and then really reach up, 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 and then up and over. Keep both buns on the floor. Breathe. Getting that QL muscle activated, quadriceps lumboris. Now I'm going to take my hand, kind of inchworm it back towards my body, and then release the arm down. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So here we go. Inhaling, circle, sweep arm up, arms up, hand down on the floor, remove that block. And then I'm going to inchworm away and then reach up and over. Kind of really getting into that side body. So this is the can on the top shelf in the pantry. Gotta reach right there. Bring it back on up and down. All right, so the next one, which we probably have already done that, seated in the chair, is to bring the hand back behind you to squeeze the upper body musculature as we do the side lateral flexion. So you got to scoot forward on your chair if you're doing the chair version, okay? Again, if you need to switch the feet, this is the time to switch the feet. I don't switch them because it feels weird in my body. And circle sweep, arms up, breathe in, and then sneak a hand back behind you. You can be on your wrist or fist here and squeeze that shoulder. Very good. Get that nice and stable. Now breathe in, reach. And then exhale, belly button tight, up and over. So notice how this feels a little subtly different. Breathe in, bring it back on up. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do the other side. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Sneak the other one back behind you. Squeeze that back shoulder. Very good. Lift up and exhale over. Now don't do a somersault. Not today. Bring it back on up and down. All right. Once again, let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ear, or maybe not once again. Tap out to begin with. And then release and relax those shoulders away. Let's do that again. Inhale, shrug it up. And release. One more time. Breathe in, shrug it up. Looks kind of funny, right? Exhale, release. Whew, beautiful. All right, so next is flowy cat-cow. This can be done one of 4 or 5 different ways. One way is to be on the hands and knees. Another way is to do this seated in the chair or standing. Today I'm going to teach from the floor. So I have some spicy knee business going on. Spicy knee business. So I like to use my blanket to cushion my knees, okay? So I really like flowy cat-cow. It's less excessive curves going on with the cervical spine and the low lumbar spine, because it takes the curves out, but you still get the extension and flexion of the spine. You prefer traditional cat-cow, go for it. But this is better for those of us with back challenges, okay? So I'm here with my knees on my yoga mat, and traditional cat-cow, hands underneath the shoulders, and you kind of undulate your spine. But for flowy cat-cow, you can be on the tops of the feet or curly toes. I do curly toes. And then I shift my hands forward, and it's kind of like extended child's pose. You come down to your forearms, and your booty's sticking up in the air, okay? But then I'm going to walk my elbows a little bit towards my knees, and then try to bring my booty towards my heels. Now I'm going to bring my shoulders a little bit wider apart. Woo! From here, I'm going to let that belly be soft, and then as I inhale, I'm going to come up in between my forearms. And once I get to about wrist level, I contract my belly button, peel my forearms off the yoga mat, shift a little bit forward, and then curve to the top of the room. A little nice cat back, contracted abdominals. Exhaling, lowering my behind towards my heels. I'm going to walk my elbows a little bit closer. It feels a little bit funny for my shoulders today. And again, inhale, drag it forward. Exhale, contract the belly button, curve the spine to the top of the room, cat back. Exhale, belly soft as you breathe in, drag it forward. Oh, my nose is going crazy here. Exhale, curve to the back of the room. I was okay laying on my back, but now my sinuses are going, hello. Breathe in. Little bicep, tricep action going on here. I'm trying to keep my arms aligned with my shoulders, so I'm not bringing the elbows out to the side, folks. And this naturally allows us to transition into locus, or as I like to call it, locutus for you Star Trek fans. What we're going to do is come down onto our torso. So here we go. It's no elegant way to do this, especially those of us with some tight hip flexors, tight quadriceps. And, if I'm just here talking to you, I'm on my forearms. I'm doing supported back bend. It's called Sphinx posture. Nice little back bend. Got to do back bends to keep, everything going in all directions. Now, we're going to go into a little bit more back bend. Again, if you're seated on the chair, you're kind of arching your front side of your body, and you can grab the spokes of the chair to get this back bend going on. Another way you can do that is to grab your yoga strap, whether you're lying on your front side or seated on the chair, okay? And you're going to bring it back behind you. So I'm going to lay my chest down to do this, and grab on either side of my behind the yoga strap. And you got to be really scooched to the edge of your chair to get some kind of space to do this. But here on the floor, I'm going to bring my hands a little wide, squeeze my shoulders, arms away from the back side of my body. So I already feel my back activated here. Now maybe if you're on your torso, you can lift the tops of the feet, the toes, and maybe you can squeeze your back some more and lift your chest a little bit more. Nose looking at the floor, arms away from your booty. Don't forget to breathe. And then release. Woo! All right, if you're here on the floor, you're going to take your hands in front of you and maybe turn your head to the side. If you're seated on the chair, just turn your head to look over your shoulder. Do an intercostal breathing when you're lying on your torso. Again, good for, more better breathing. Is that a good sentence? No, it's not, but you know what I'm talking about. And then let's do that locus or locutus yoga posture again. Grab that strap, grab the back of the chair, or interlace the hands, and then lift the arms away, lift the strap away, tops of the feet, eyes looking at the floor, heart rate kicks up. Breathe in and release. Now we're going to look over the other shoulder or hands at the top, turn the head and lay your side of the head on the hands. Now if you can't do that, maybe it's the forehead on top of the hands or the stacked fist, okay? So lots of variations you can do here. Again, noticing the expansion of the ribs when you're lying on the torso. Of course, they call this proning during COVID, right? Lying on your belly, breathing to make sure that you have less chances of pneumonia. Again, we're getting into the lungs. Good stuff. All right, contract the belly button towards your spine, hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes, and just don't even think about it. Just think about, okay, I'm going to go up to all fours. Make that happen. Very good. From here, I'm going to move that strap out of the way and get my block close by. And usually I use a chair, but I'm going to use the block today. I'm going to make it the medium height. I'm going to take one foot up in between the hands. And I usually have to guide myself to do that. I'm going to shift a little forward, curl that back toe, shift my body weight over that front knee, lift that back leg, and then take that back foot, hop walk it next to the other foot. Now I'm really knees bent, hands on my hips, and hinge up. Woo! So sometimes coming up off the floor to vertical can cause this dizziness business going on. So feet a little wide, hands on the chest, chin towards your chest, eyes open, breathe. Listen to the breath going in through the nose, back of the throat. Very good. Grab your yoga block. I'm not sure if I can show this on the camera. I have to scooch back to the wall. So our feet, whether you're seated on the chair, here on the floor, let's make them look like number 12s or number 11s pointing towards 12 o'clock, and the hands on either side of the block. And then bend the elbows out, bring it up. We're going to bring it up overhead. Try to think about really pushing the block to the top of the room. Feet firm into the floor, behind firm into the chair. Think about the spine lifting and lengthening out of the pelvis. And release. That can be kind of spicy for some folks, so just do the best that you can. For those of you seated on the chair, we're going to be doing warrior poses, so you know what to do there. Those of us standing, feet wide, turn a foot, bend a knee. I still have my block. And I'm going to check to see, is my knee aligned with my foot? I'm going to think about the floor here. There's a wrinkle here on the ground, and I want to make it smooth. So I'm going to press firmly into the floor and then kind of think about pushing the legs opposite directions, pushing firm and away. So I'm getting into that hip musculature. I'm going to take that block, might as well. Arms out into a letter T, and reach out over the bent knee side, and then bring that block up. Maybe hand on the leg or a fist pressed into a hip or grabbing that chair. Again, feet firm to the ground, pushing away, and then bring the block back to the other hand and straighten that leg. Woo! All right, now, other hand, and if you don't have a block, you're just, mimicking what I'm doing here. We're actually in triangle pose when we straighten the leg. And the hand, the knee that we just bent, let's place that hand kind of into the hook, the hip crease, and bring the other arm up. And think about up, 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 and then kind of tip over a little bit. So a variation of triangle pose. Bring it back on up and down. We're going to bend the knee, pivot the foot, bring it in somehow. Very good. My feet get stuck on that yoga mat. I go a little too wide sometimes. We're going to switch over to the other side. So feet wide, heel toe out, lift the heel, turn the foot, bend the knee. Maybe go a little bit more deep into the posture. Again, check. Knee aligned with the foot, foot aligned with the knee, hips, shoulders over the hips. Very good. So arms out into a letter T here. We're going to do that side lateral flexion again. So we're going to reach a little out as if you're handing the block to somebody, right? And then bring it up into the air, hand down the leg, fist pushed into the hip, feet firm into the floor as if you're smoothing that wrinkle. Activate the lower part of the body. Very nice. And then bring your body back to leg straight. Switch the block into the other hand. Arms out into a letter T, feet firm into the floor. Now take your hand over the side that you just did the bent knee, put it into that hip crease where the leg inserts into the torso, and then other arm goes up. And then think about lengthening up and then tipping over. Now I can't quite do this one on this side, but I just do what I can. Bring it back on up and down. Pivot that foot. If you're seated on the chair, knees wide, so it's a letter V. If you're here on the yoga mat, let's heel toe in a bit. Okay? And then toes towards the corners of the yoga mat, heels towards your behind. And bend the knees. It's called horse stance. So we still have a block or our hands. We're basically drawing a side line figure 8. Strengthening the lower portion of our body. You can do this also seated in the chair. Just do the figure 8 movement. Now pause and then go the other direction. Go slower. Ooh. And then one more. And then come back to standing. Let's pivot those feet in. And we're going to come back down to the floor. So you can inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bend the knees, swan dive into your forward fold. Step a foot back. Come down to the floor. Grab your yoga block. Lie on your back for constructive rest pose. Let's do notice pose after we get into constructive rest pose. So again, kind of notice your body here on the floor. And let's go ahead and extend one leg, then the other. Maybe do those little feet wipes, windshield wipers. And then just kind of settle your body into the floor. Notice what's going on here. And let's go back to block bridge. So slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, then the other, and slide the block underneath. Lay your back side on there. Maybe position it in a different area, maybe more high on the hip as opposed to maybe what you did before, or maybe lower on the hip. So a little bit different than what you did before. Walk the shoulders away. Raise a leg up. Notice how it feels second time around. Shake it. Wiggle it. I still can't wiggle it. And then lower that one. Let's do the other side. So raise it up and shake it up. And wiggle it side to side. If you want to, hang on to a block, raise the other one, do them both. Woo. And side to side. And just, alternate. Just do what you can here. Yeah? All right, bring one foot down. Ooh, feel that tingling. Yeah? Then the other. Raise up off the block. Roll your spine on down. Maybe roll the shoulder blade away. Extend those legs. Once again, notice what you notice here. Maybe there's more surface being supported by the floor underneath you, the chair beneath you. If you're in the chair, if you have a couch close by, maybe lay on the couch. It's a nice, different place to be for your final guided rest. All right. So I invite you to get comfortable. That might be lying on your back with maybe a blanket rolled up underneath the bend in the knees, or maybe you have a blanket, cover yourself up depending on the temperature of the room. Maybe it's seated in the chair, laid back on the couch, whatever feels okay for you. And again, just get comfortable. Today we're doing the Waves of the Mind meditation. So let's let the body assume its natural tides. So what I mean by that is we're going to allow the breath to assume its natural tides. So easy in-breath, easy out-breath. As we breathe in, rising in. As we breathe out, falling out. So the rising and falling of each in-breath and each out-breath becomes the hitching post for the mind. As sounds arise and fall away, as sensations come and go, as thoughts are born and die, let's just see each one as a gentle wave being created in the mind. Each wave rises and falls away. Each breath is maybe shallow and even. So do not reach towards nor push against any sound, any sensation, any thought. Just allow the mind to assume its natural tides. As the breath quiets, the mind quiets. Shallow breath, shallow mind. So whatever arises creates this simple, shallow ripple in the mind. Thoughts, emotions, desires. Each awareness creates a tiny wave. Nothing more than a ripple. Rising and falling is the nature of the mind. Resting in this place. From here, I'll be taking you through a body scan, or what's commonly known as the rotation of consciousness. You just listen to the places that I name, shift your attention, your awareness to those places, and then we'll proceed on to the next one. From here, let's bring all of our attention to that right hand thumb. Again, you'll think right hand thumb, you'll imagine right hand thumb, and you'll shift all of your attention, all of your awareness to that right hand thumb. Good. Right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, right pinky finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, right side chest, right side waist, the right hip point, upper right leg, knee, shin, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe. Now gather all of your attention, all of your awareness, shift it into the right side of the body. Again, notice what you notice just on the right side of your body. Good. Now let's shift all of our attention to the left side of the body, starting with that left thumb. Again, all of your awareness, all of your attention into that left hand thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, left pinky finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, left wrist, forearm, left elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left armpit, left side chest, left side waist, the left hip point, upper left leg, knee, shin, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, left pinky toe. Notice everything just on the left side of your body. Notice what you notice or don't notice. Good. Now let's shift all of our attention, all of our awareness to the back places of our body, starting with the back of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, upper back, mid back, low back, right behind, left behind, the back side of the right arm, the back side of the left arm, the back side of the right leg, the back side of the left leg, right ankle, left ankle. Just notice the entire back side of the body as it's supported by the surface beneath us. Feel as if you're as heavy as a rock, sinking into the chair, sinking into the floor, feeling that sensation of support in the back places of your body. Good. Now let's flip that to the front places of our body. Once again, let's start with the top of the head, forehead, right ear, left ear, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the place in between the eyebrows, right eye, left eye, the very top of the nose, the very tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, right cheekbone, left cheekbone, upper lip, lower lip, the tongue resting in the mouth, chin, jawline, right side of the neck, left side of the neck, front of the neck, the hollow of the throat center, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, heart center, upper abdominals, lower abdominals, the navel center, right side of the lower leg, left side of the lower leg, right hip, left hip, right shoulder, left shoulder. Once again, notice all the places in the front side of the body. Notice how they feel a little bit lighter compared to the back places in the body. You're as light as a feather, so light you could float up towards the sky. Good. Let's come back into the now, back into the present moment by wiggling those fingers, those toes. If you're lying on your back, maybe bring the knees in towards the chest and do that little side to side movement or those little knee circles. If you're upright in a chair, maybe bring the feet wide and lead with the shoulders with wide upper body circles. Once you get going one direction, let's pause and go the other direction. Then eventually come back to the center. You're lying on your back, bring those feet back down to the floor. Roll over onto your side body. Push into the hand that's in front of you and come up to a tall seated place. just for a little bit, hands to heart center, chin towards your chest. That's to create a little bit more stability of our equilibrium. And while we're here, go ahead and bring the head to look forward. Let's do a little something for our neck and shoulders. So we'll spread the hands out like a spider, bring it out to the side, and then turn the thumb to the top of the room. Take your opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift your chin. This is to open up more blood flow into the brain, open up the carotid, and then bring it back to the center. Let's do the other side. So spread out the hand and bring the arm out to the side, and then turn the thumb to the back of the room. Now opposite ear towards the shoulder, and then lift the chin. Going to feel that lengthening sensation on the extended arm side. And then bring it back to the center. Let's just kind of notice our range of motion and what's going on with our shoulders, our neck. Hands together, this is called swimming dragon. And we'll push hands one direction and then turn the head the other direction. And then inhale, bring everything back to the center. And exhale, push it the other direction. Inhaling back to the center. One more each side. Push it away, exhale. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, other side. Beautiful. Inhaling back to the center. Excellent. From here, clap the hands, rub the hands, get some circulation going back on, get some heat into the hands. Maybe you kind of like you're trying to make meatballs here. Rub those hands, get some heat going on. Now, just for a little bit of eye health, I'm going to take my glasses off and take those warm hands and cup them over my eyeballs. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, breathing in, breathe out. And then slide the hands to on your chest, your heart center. Let's think of one thing that we're grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude, yeah? And then take whatever that is, bring it into your heart space. And maybe drop the chin towards your heart center in gratitude of just you showing up today. Good. You can keep your chin there or lift the chin to look forward, eyes opened or closed as we end our class today. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for low back care. Hope to see you next week.